Alright guys, welcome back. This is going to be part 2 of The Walking Dead Season 7 finale. Spoilers. If you haven't seen, go and watch the first half. And listen to what's going to happen in the first half. This is part 2 now, so I'm picking up right where I left off. Anyways, where was I? Oh yes, Kingdom was moving on, and Morgan decided to join them. Then after that, the scavengers ride in on bicycles in a garbage truck. Jadis looks around, turns to Rick, and says, "What you fight for?" Rick says, "Not the place, the people." He looks at Michonne, each other. "You're part of that now." Jadis looks at Michonne, gestures to Rick, and says, "Yours?" Michonne says, "We're together." Jadis says, "I'm listened more than once. I lay with the leader. You care?" Michonne says, "We should get back to work." Rick looks creeped out. Can't say I don't blame him. Alright, looks like then the Saviors are on the road. There's a brief scene in which the Saviors find the blocked road. That speculate Rick and the group head down the trees. Eugene comes up with a plan to clear the road. And apparently in the weird darkness, Sasha is listening to her music, eyes wide open, trembling as she hears a trumpet solo playing through her earbuds. I know what's going to happen and how this is going to end. Her face shows a range of emotions across it as the scene changes, putting her back at the Alexandrian safe zone with Abraham in the earlier time. So again, there's more time jumps going back and forth. Apparently they have more conversation. Her and Abe are going back and forth. Sasha's telling Abraham about a dream she had. And then they talk about Maggie. About how trying to skim through all this stuff. I mean, they basically have word for word what everybody is going to say. This is what Sasha's going to say, and so I'm trying to skip through all that and trying to get some of the good parts and just kind of pull them out. Abraham says, I'm going to go with Rick to take Maggie to the hilltop. Sasha says, another dream, in the same dream, you're gonna die. Sasha and Eugene are walking together through the sanctuary with another savior a few feet behind them. Eugene's basically asking her, "Have you changed your mind about taking the allergy medication?" Sasha says yes. Eugene's all excited. Good. I think you'll get adjusted to the place size-wise. Sasha says, no, I won't. Not like you. Everybody has a way out. Don't go. What else? People died today. It's the choices they make. Sasha says, yes, it is. And the scene moves to another shot of Maggie and Sasha sitting side by side, just as in season 5 when they were Tyrese and Beth together. Maggie sighs. Again, more flashbacks or dream sequences. So Sasha and Maggie are basically speaking. Why are we here? And then it jumps back again to the present time. Rick, Rosita, and the scavengers, plus ASZ, safe zone, are ready for Negan and the team saviors. And the saviors arrive. The trucks pull up with Eugene yelling to Rick using a bullhorn, "Hello, I come sad with hope." Oh, I come sad with the hope. Rosita looks heartbroken and full of rage, both emotions playing on her face. Rick asks where Negan is, and Eugene says chillingly, "I'm Negan." And apparently Rick tries to trigger the explosions and nothing happens. The scavengers turn on ASZ, and they have them circled everywhere. See, I said in my prediction breakdown, I didn't like how they were going, scavenger, our group, scavenger, our group, scavenger, our group. So, apparently Rick was going to kill Eugene at that point, because Rick tries to trigger the explosions. Nothing happens. The scavengers turn on the safe zone and have them circled everywhere. Michonne sees Jadis holding Rick at gunpoint. So Michonne spins around to find the scavenger she is partnered with, holding a weapon on her. We win, the scavengers say to Michonne. Negan gears up for for his famous speech. Negan to Rick before the battle breaks out. You don't like Eugene anymore? ? You gotta like Sasha. I'm gonna make this simple. I want all the guns you managed to scrape up. I want all the lemonade you have. Let's see, we're in part 3. So Daryl says I gotta get my Daryl back. And he says to Daryl, I gotta get my Daryl back, and the pool table, and I want the chalk. I want it now. And I want someone from your group of your choosing for Lucille. As Negan goes to open the coffin, he bangs on it twice with Lucille before opening it. And suddenly we switch back to Sasha in the darkness inside the coffin. Sasha is inside the coffin. The weird darkness we have been seeing this entire episode. Everything else has been a complete dream. Apparently, she's already dead. And, so the entire time she's been locked in this coffin, listening to her music and everything like that. Skip. So we go back to more dream sequence. Sasha and Abe. Abe stands up, pulls Sasha in for a hug. More talking. They basically embrace. Sasha reaches up and cups Abe's face in her hand. Saying, I knew how this was going to end. Abe. So I guess they're dreaming like what life would have been like, had Abe survived, I guess. Anyways, as the Alexandrian safe doors close behind them, the doors open up into the sunshine for Eugene and Sasha at the sanctuary. And apparently there's going to be another flashback. Negan tells Sasha she doesn't have to take the trip in the thing, meaning the coffin. The camera cuts to Sasha in the coffin with Negan looking down on her as he prepares to shut the lid. Damn, you're something else. Before he bangs Lucille twice on the outside, casing the coffin closed. Back at Alexandria's safe zone. In the battle, Negan taps twice on the coffin with Lucille. Sash, you're not going to believe this. Then Walker Sasha lunges out, clawing at Negan, trying to bite him. Carl uses the opportunity and starts shooting, and the place pretty much erupts into complete chaos. Everyone is shooting. Jadis has a gun on Rick. Walker Sasha is pulled off of Negan by another savior, who promptly gets eaten by her. Rick offers to make a deal with Jadis, who still has a gun on him. She says no, shoots him in the side, and knocks him off the little thing he's standing on. Michonne is having a really bad time with the blonde female savior, and getting her head smashed to the ground. She's getting the hell beat out of her, but continues to fight with everything she's got. Jadis forces a shot Rick to walk to the saviors. Michonne finally gets the upper hand and doesn't kill her, but stabs her. Back to Rick. Carl is already with the Saviors, and Jadis has Rick kneel in front of Negan. So there's basically going to be another little lineup, Rick and Carl. Negan chastises Rick for trying to defy him and tells Carl it's over. Alright, try to skim through all this. It's already 10 minutes. Wow. Michonne is now halfway off the ledge with the Savior still on top of her. Rick hears Michonne screaming, looks devastated. Negan begins to taunt Rick. You just lost somebody important to you. Now that is timing. Negan says he's going to kill Carl and take Rick's hand. Rick is defiant and still says he's going to kill him. Negan says you're already dead. Negan laughs. Negan gets up to kill Carl. As he gets up to swing the bat, Shiva jumps in, who leaps out of nowhere and basically kills the Savior. Shit basically erupts. Suddenly the Kingdom folks ride in, some literally, with Carol in the lead. Lots of close-ups with Shiva having lunch, killing people. Although one form of death, a scavenger woman, may have been changed, to be shot by Ezekiel. I guess there were some edits and stuff like that. Suddenly Maggie's there with Hilltop troops as backup. We see Daryl, Morgan, Carol, Ezekiel fighting alongside with Alexandrians. Negan sees Maggie's alive. The widow thing with guns ablazing, he exclaims. Carol and the Kingdom basically saved the day. Negan raised his bat to bash Carl in the head. Shiva flies out of nowhere and attacks a male savior or junkyard person, distracting everybody and their uncle included. Let's see. People are screaming. People are firing their weapons everywhere, including Dwight and Simon. Rick and Carl duck for cover. The Kingdom is here. The Kingdom is badass. Carol's here. Bullets flying. King Ezekiel storms in on foot, firing his gun, shouting. Every savior and their accomplices. Alexandria will not fall. Not this day, he shouts. Carol, Jerry, and the rest are basically kicking ass. The battle axe on Jerry's back is thirsty, waiting for her turn for vengeance. Apparently there's a beautiful shot of Carol close-up firing a machine gun. Shiva is making midday snack of saviors, sinking her teeth into some of the saviors' necks. Rick crawls to the ground, gets a gun, basically starts opening fire on saviors and the junkyard people. What else? One of the saviors or junkyard people tries to sneak up on Rick, but gets killed before by Maggie. Maggie comes to save the day with Enid. Even Enid is firing. Rick is now armed and killing bad guys left and right. Part 4. Negan is taking cover behind a car with Dwight. He yells, "Goddamn tiger!" He's armed with more than Lucille, and is firing back at TF and crew. He may have also run out of ammunition because he drops the gun and sprints off screen, only with his stick. Morgan is here, stick in hand, assault rifle in the other. He's not playing. He adds more gunfire. He seems to be clear-headed Morgan, not clear Morgan. Apparently Maggie and Enid are both, firing guns, and they're, kind of cool. Negan sees Maggie. The widow is alive. Negan runs out of bullets. Taste that, Simon. That's the taste of shit. Negan runs off screen. Another savior takes Negan's place behind the car. He's shooting. Shiva leaps through the air and takes him out. Rick and Carl are shooting side by side. What else? The camera quickly moves to King Ezekiel and Carol, who are killing every bad guy in their sights. 2 junkyard saviors sneak up behind them, but are both quickly killed by Carol. She saves the king, Ezekiel's life as well as her own. What else? Simon slides behind a car and starts shooting. Jadis and Brian, I don't know, that other dude, take cover. She nods to him. Brion takes out a flare gun and shoots it into the sky. The camera pans to Tamiel, who lights a fuse on the end of a blue soda can and rolls it on the ground away from her. Another junkyarder throws something in the air. Apparently there are smoke bombs. He and 2 other junkyard peeps retreat in the opposite direction from where it was where the smoke was thrown. Smoke is now basically covering Alexandria. Rick, Maggie, Jesus, and some others come out from behind the RV. Rick shouts, they're falling back. Maggie orders Eduardo to go between the houses and cover the gate. So basically, at this point, they're basically taking control of the city, regaining the safe zone. King Ezekiel is with Carol and his soldiers. He yells out, "Now we finish this." Rick and Carl join the fight. Join them. They run down the street, chasing after some of the bad guys who left. The camera changes to Maggie as she runs, crouched down behind a car, ready to take out whoever is on the other side. The other side is where she finds Daryl, Enid, Morgan, and Jesus. Apparently Francine, Father Gabriel, Scott, and Tobin are shooting at a truck as it speeds towards Alexandrian's gate. It's Negan in the passenger seat. He flips him the bird. So basically everybody is cleaning up at this point. Hilltop and the Kingdom and Alexandrians are basically chasing down the rest of the Saviors and the Junkyard crew as they are trying to leave and opening fire on them, trying to take them out. TF, I don't know what TF is, I'm drawing a blank on it, is firing back. Aaron, Jerry, and Morgan try to open the gate while Daryl climbs up on the ladder on one side of the truck to get a look at where the Saviors are. They're gone. The scavengers pull out and throw smoke bombs to basically cover their retreat. Flare gun is fired to signal those fighters to run away. Negan takes off, flipping the bird to everyone. Daryl climbs on the truck, double checks. Rick and Carl go to find Michonne. They find the scavenger's body instead and find Michonne inside the house. Rick goes to her, shakes her a little, says, "You're alive." He and Carl kneel by her and look. They take her hands and everything. She tries to says "we," but she is too injured. Rick finishes for her. He hugs her and stuff like that. Kind of like cuddle and everything like that. They take her to the infirmary. Apparently, Carol and her squad of Kingdom folks basically roam the grounds looking for any stragglers or any survivors or anything like that, or any weapons. Same thing with a group from the safe zone. They're basically going around looking for any leftover survivors or anything like that. Back at the sanctuary, Negan asks Eugene how Sasha could have died in that coffin. How the hell do you think she wound up dead in that box? She ran out of air. He tells her. Negan, who just stares at him in the eye and says, maybe, obviously, suspiciously of Eugene. So then Negan says, we're going to war. Negan yells at the Saviors, who all cheer loudly. And apparently back at the safe zone, Carol and Morgan, Maggie, voiceover. Apparently a little bit of a flashback with Maggie. Apparently there's a shot of the farm, prison, and stuff like that. Apparently things have settled down in Alexandria. People are milling around in the streets. Carol, no longer wearing armor, walks out in the middle of the street and sees Morgan sitting on the front steps of a house. He is no longer wearing Benjamin's armor, but is sitting there with his stick in his lap, his hands clasped. He still wears his wedding ring. He's in his own little world and, slightly startled when Carol climbs up the steps next to him. Her pose, mirroring his. Basically, they're talking. They stay that way for a couple of seconds before looking back towards the street. I think they not only came to a truce, but an understanding. They're now here for each other. So basically, Carol and Morgan, I don't know, reconnect or whatnot. Let's see. Maggie's crying, puts down Walker Sasha after she and Jesus find her wandering in the woods. The survivors share food, introduce themselves, start listening to Rick, Ezekiel, and Maggie speak to them at the very end. So, wow, that was a lot of reading. Whew. Yeah, that is the season 7 finale right there. That is, shit is going to go down. Things are going to get resolved. Morgan and Carol are going to make up, after, just leave me alone. I want to be left alone. Apparently that's going to be all resolved. Sasha, basically dead. Scavengers basically turning on the group. The war started basically, gunshots, Shiva, shit has hit the fan. Shit is going down. So, we basically get, Negan yelling to the saviors, we're going to war at Sanctuary, and, survivors, Hilltop Kingdom, all gather around, introducing themselves, forming an official alliance now. So, that is the season 7 finale. I skipped a lot of stuff. I mean, this whole post has like word for word of everything that's going to go down. I skipped the dream sequences and stuff like that, but that was it. That is The Walking Dead season 7 finale. No cliffhanger. Don't worry. War started. So I mean, just from this, the episode sounds, unbelievably badass. I mean, seriously, if this doesn't, shake those people that kept saying, oh, this season's so boring, this episode's so boring, then I don't know what will. I honestly don't know what will. If people say this episode's boring, I don't know what they could do to, to change it. I mean, gunfights, second lineup, scavengers turning on them, Shiva eating people, fist fights, gunfights. I don't know. I just don't know. But yep, this episode sounds absolutely badass, and I can't wait for it. Shit has hit the fan. But yeah, if you guys like this video, if you like the spoiler, if you like the episode finale, the season finale, feel free to hit that like button. That would be awesome. If you guys like the channel, feel free to hit that subscribe button. I really want to hit that 100 mark. It's my little goal there. I want to try to hit that. I'll do a Amazon gift card giveaway when I do hit 100 subscribers. So, feel free to check out some of my other videos. I just posted my reaction to the It trailer that just came out earlier today. So, I mean, you can go and check that out. I got other Call of Duty news. I got like a whole bunch of other videos. Feel free to go check those out and everything. And, if you guys have any Walking Dead questions or any other questions about the season finale, leave those below in the comment section. I'll either reply to them in the comment section, or I'll do a Walking Dead Q&A video, which I'd like to do. So other than that, follow me on my social media pages. Those are listed down below in the description box. I got a Discord channel that you guys can jump into. I'm always hanging out in there. If you want to talk about Walking Dead or whatever, feel free to jump in there and chat. So, more videos are on the way. So I will see you guys next time.